Guys, I'm alive. I feel better. I feel so much better. What's going on here? Beyonce. I always have my fan blowing, but right now it's like an actual wind tunnel situation. Hi, welcome. Okay, so today for me is like day 22 of having COVID, and I started an inhaler and a steroid, and it helped so much. I did an IV drip on Sunday, and I thought I would be feeling amazing, but woke up Monday feeling awful, and I will never do it again. It didn't do anything for me, and I think my body was also kind of processing all of the medications, and so it kind of took me out, I think, instead of actually helping. So that was awful. And then I started the medications on Monday, and I woke up feeling better on Tuesday, and it's just now in my chest, which is weird because I've never had breathing issues, but I'm moving forward. You just got to keep going. And I had so many awesome parents at the school checking in and helping me out, and so it felt really great to have community support and everybody kind of giving me feedback and things that they've tried that have helped and all that. So, kind of takes a village, and I have people helping out with the kids with their early schedules going back to school, and for some reason there's no school tomorrow. I know it's a 3-day weekend, but now it's a 4-day weekend, and they just went back, and my other son went back, but he's only there for 3 hours a day for the next week. It's just I don't know, you can't get into the rhythm, and then you think you're back in the rhythm, and then there's breaks and holidays and whatnot. But I'm happy to be here again for my weekly Facebook Live training. Welcome. Let me know who's here. I always have my ride or dies that join us, and so say hi, and then if there's anybody that's new on here, say hi, introduce yourself, let me know who you are, tell me about your business and where you're located, kind of where you are in your business. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR. We are a full service PR and not so much social media at the moment, which is fine. Hi, Marlicia. Hi, Serena. Marlicia, nice to see you. And Serena, hello. And there's others on here too. Just say hi, please, so I know who's here. We are serving beauty and cosmetics companies and baby and kids brands. We also support lifestyle brands. I think that we are shifting. Hi, Kristen. Awesome. Okay, that's good to know, because you know what? I don't have a lot of fashion PR agencies that I can refer business out to, because we get a lot of inquiries, and I haven't done fashion in 15 years. I enjoy fashion personally, but I don't do fashion PR, so that's wonderful. Kristen, if you would let me know the name of your agency, that would be super helpful. And then Jane, thank you. And hi, Supriya, it's nice to see you. Thank you guys so much for being here. So we also, just to kind of always update you guys, because I come on here and we do training for the PR community, but I want you all to know that we're running an agency. So I have two sides of the business. I have an entire coaching community, an ed tech platform for PR professionals, Generation Academy. We have award-winning programs that help you become a pitching powerhouse. I have a podcast with the same name. I think this week's episode is really good. I do listen to my own podcast because honestly, I don't know if I black out after I record the episodes or something, but I have no recollection of what the topics are. And so I pop my head in, and I do not even remember recording this episode. I think I was in the middle of, I don't even know, but I'm listening. I'm this is really good. And it's interesting because somebody in our agency accelerator program asked me specifically about a question around supporting multiple brands in the same niche, like Kristen is supporting fashion, apparel companies, and I'm sure there's a lot of similar crossover, and that's how you leverage your expertise. But she had questions about supporting brands that were really similar, possibly competitors, and how to ethically approach that. And that is what this week's podcast episode is about. And I think it's really good and helpful. And so that's, we're running an agency, and everything that we pull out and share with this community is all based on stuff we're seeing happening right now in the industry. And so I'm sharing with you some of the shifts that we're making in our business. I used to think that paid media, ethical paid media, like not pay to play, Jane and I were talking about that recently, but more like, partnering with your media platforms that you're trying to reach. They have the right target audience. They're doing paid integrations, newsletter incorporation, social media, paid blog posts that are first person, like narrative reviews of your client's products that might be paid, and you get a multiple series out of it. We are doing a lot more of that. And I used to look at it like a dirty word, because I felt like clients were paying us for earned media. And if we turned around and went back to them and said, well, we pitched you to our media partners and they want to work with you on a paid campaign, that it looked like we were ineffective. But that's not the case anymore. Clients are looking at their comm strategy holistically, and they're looking at paid. They have these budgets, and they want our relationships. They want us to manage these partnerships. They want us to manage their budget. And we started out with some clients doing this on a project basis and getting paid a project campaign, but the results have been so impactful for so many reasons: driving traffic and sales, SEO value, aligning with the target audience, leveraging those affiliations in their paid social. And so they're coming back and not just doubling down, but we went from managing like a $25,000 a quarter budget on a project basis to now $1 million a year in paid. It's not advertising, it's paid paid media integration. So not like shady, you guys know the difference, like those shady companies that are like, you only pay me if they claim to be PR firms, and they are doing wholesale buyouts on these platforms, and then the writers are getting their verticals terminated and your client's money is gone, or they're able to find that content and they're blacklisted because they're doing these shady pay-to-play things. This is not that. This is through the publication itself. It is like an advertorial, and you're helping your clients navigate that arena. We're getting a monthly retainer for that now. So we'll do earned media and we'll do paid as an add-on service. So I'm mentioning that because that's a change that we're seeing happen. Hi, Nelson and Sabrina in entertainment, acting, and music for not-for-profit and not-for-profit. Nice to be connected. I've seen you on here. And Elizabeth, hi from DC. It's so great to see you guys. Marlicia, let me know if you're still on, where you're located. I like to kind of know where everybody is. So just so you know, that's a service that we are, and it's a nice, healthy, additional budget for managing those partnerships. Our services are changing. The execution of these services is more time consuming. The platforms are more robust, and there are more, like the social platforms and integrating with influencers. The ways we can integrate are broader. And so those partnerships, Newark, awesome. And Long Beach, hi Janice, nice to see you. Thanks for being on here, you guys. So we are renegotiating some of our contracts because the scope has increased. The services we've been providing for a client for 3.5 years they're learning what is working and coming back to us and saying, you know what, we had a little experiment with one of our advisors on a podcast and the SEO value has been tremendous, let's go harder in that arena. That's not part of the scope of work. So we are reconnecting with clients and reconfiguring contracts to include these additional services. So the other thing that we are also expanding on in our agency, and also in the offerings for our online community where we're educating PR professionals, Generation Academy, we are going to be teaching how to do affiliate programs for your clients. So if you have a brand with consumer, CPG brand that is selling products online, we are going to give you the training on how to execute that service and how to incorporate it, what to charge, how to position it, how it aligns with PR, how you're selling it to your clients as an add-on service. And I believe in 2023, and if you haven't gotten our, I don't know why we're not promoting. We have an insider secrets thing, but let me get the link. We have a new download. Let me see if I can get the link to this 2023 PR trend report. So that you can download it. We talk about that in there. That's going to be a trend that's here to stay. Our media partners, we're talking about it every week. We're talking about it in all our programs. Our media partners are responsible for sales. That's what they're tasked to do. All of their features are now obligated to run through like a gut check with SEO to see what the search volume is and to see if they're gonna sell product through their integration. So it's like infotainment, and the products have to meet a need, but also have to be authentic to what they want to share. So that's part of a pitch strategy that's here to stay. And if you can work with your media partners in that way, you're going to be ahead of the curve. And part of that is getting you in the door with your clients, managing their affiliate programs, setting affiliate commissions on products you want to promote. If you do a launch, the commission for a short period of time can be really high, and you'll see that product everywhere. This is the key to converting now. And I wish it weren't the case, you guys. I pick products because I love them, because they perform well, because there's something really special and unique. We still love storytelling. I'm trying to get you the link to get this trend report. Sorry, I'm just asking Miranda. And here's the opt-in. Okay, here we go. You guys, so just if you want to grab this trend report for 2023, we just started running ads to it, but I wasn't planning on sharing that, but I think it's important so that you can kind of see what's relevant and trend-wise for the biggest changes for the upcoming year. But the big one that if you are promoting brands with products, you absolutely, positively must know. It is the number one most important thing right now. You have to understand how the affiliate marketing ties in to earned media. Okay, and I see all of you. It's so nice to have all of you connecting right now. And Sasha, I just wanted to say hi. I saw you pop on too. It's great that you're all sharing where you are. I'm in Sherman Oaks, which is in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. I've been running Generation PR for 17 years, and I think that we've done a really good job as a small, nimble boutique agency of spotting trends, staying ahead of the curve, and especially now supporting this PR community through all of our coaching and training programs. It is essential that we are on top of what is happening and giving you the latest, not trends, but changes in our industry. And changes aren't always bad. It's just we play a game, the rules of the game change, and you have to learn the new rules and help your clients navigate it, and that's what makes you essential to them. So grab that download if you kind of want to see what we're talking about in terms of trends for the new year. And I say for sure top of the list is understanding affiliate marketing and how it ties into PR, which is it's there, and it's just another tool in our arsenal. So this topic for today, ethical newsjacking. And also we are going to talk about how to stay on top of industry trends as a PR professional. We understand that the main goal for all of us as PR pros is to earn clients a spot in the news through press features and media coverage. That's traditional PR, is earned media. There's paid, there's owned, there's, your owned channels are your blog, your social. There's paid, which is where you have more control over it. Earned is the real skill that we're doing as PR professionals. So we tailor our pitches, we build media relationships. There's so many tactics that we can use to achieve that goal, but there's one strategy that we all need to understand. We have Nelson on here saying, I love newsjacking. It is a really solid strategy. Newsjacking is an approach where you leverage trending stories already in the news and you work in a timely manner to get your clients inserted into the conversation. Okay, that's newsjacking. It's already a topic that people are talking about, and you want to get your clients, their expertise, their products, their services aligned with those conversations that are already happening. But all too often we see that it is done in maybe a gross, unethical, or like an inappropriate way that just feels a little like, bleh, we obviously don't ever want to teach any tactics that are unethical or shady or put your clients in a bad light. We have seen some really like cringy pitches in some of our Facebook communities that journalists are sharing. They're not trying to put anyone on blast, but they're kind of like, this isn't how you do it. So we're going to talk about why you need to know what newsjacking is so you can do it the right way, how you can be ethical and stay on top of industry trends as a PR pro so that you can time it the right way and pounce when the opportunities arise. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Let's go. Let's get ready on newsjacking. And for those of you that are on here like Nelson who are effectively and successfully using this strategy, please feel free to share any tips, things that work for you. I see those thumbs up. Thank you guys. It's really helpful for all of us, obviously, to the more you like interact with the video, the more people that ultimately get to see it. So it's helpful for me. So thanks for that. But let us know if you have successfully executed a newsjacking campaign and secured some great, let's go, baby, some great features for your clients. Share that with us here. Let us know what worked for you and what the resulting like effort and by all means, too, if you're in any of our programs, we have a winning pitch vault. If you have successfully newsjacked, you're in our programs, please share. You know how to submit. We ask you all the time, but this is a strategy that would be really wonderful for our community to see how it looks in actual pitch and what the resulting feature is. So when you enroll in our programs, we have this winning pitch vault. It's part of the Pitch Lab, and I believe it's a bonus in Agency Accelerator. We have dozens of our community sharing their actual winning pitches and the resulting features, and then explaining the context, like what the back and forth was or any key details that are important so we can see what it takes to actually land these specific kinds of press features. I'd love to fill our vault with more newsjacking strategies, okay? So newsjacking, it's a PR term. It's basically when you take a trending news story and you create a pitch around that story, but it is still centered on your client, their products, their expertise. Do not think of it as a PR stunt where your client acknowledges the news, but rather it's a pitching tactic where you hijack a news story and you tie your client into that news item. So hijack and newsjacking sounds a little bit like kind of like maybe a negative term, but it's an opportunity for you to piggyback off of what's already happening in the media and online. And in the process, you're injecting your client into what's trending in the news, and you craft a pitch with a twist that'll help grab attention where it's already falling. So people are already talking about this. Their attention is already looking for experts to weigh in, or studies around a certain topic that's in the news, or products to solve a need that's in the news. So they're already looking for things to cover in this arena. So it could get their attention, but it can also be a risky strategy if you don't do it ethically, because you can come across as inauthentic. It can harm relationships with journalists or audience relationships because it might seem opportunistic. Especially, we'll talk about this, we just never want to newsjack on a tragedy unless it's really from a place of giving value and caring and helping people cope with a difficult situation, right? But if it's done right, it can help you garner positive news coverage for your clients very quickly and give them a voice of authority on a topic that it's giving them authority on a topic that they want to be aligned with. Marlicia is saying, is it riding media coattails? That's not a bad thing, as you explain it, right? We're going to talk about how to make it a good thing. Sure, if that's what the media is talking about, you're kind of, riding their coattails in a good way. If you're adding value to the stories they're covering, if you're adding value to the readership, and you're positioning something as being helpful, informative, and authoritative, problem solving, that's great. That's what we're going to get to. So can newsjacking be an ethical practice? Yes, that's the short answer. Absolutely. The long answer is yes, but only if you do it in a way that makes sense for your clients' audiences, if you provide genuine value and it's not just some kind of clickbaity headline to get attention and be controversial given what people are talking about in the news. So newsjacking also tends to be a really strategic type. Yeah, the key is to add value. Absolutely. With all of our pitches, we want to be adding value, but especially in this topic so that it doesn't come off as opportunistic or like shady or like a bottom feeder strategy. Certain themes or topics that we know are already going to be in the news, like any industry specific events, like we did a lot of outreach. We're doing outreach around CES, anything that's holiday related, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We know media on the consumer product side is talking about the sales and all the deals, especially now when it comes to converting for affiliate dollars. We got so much press for one client around their Prime Day deal for Amazon. And Prime Day was so successful for Amazon, I think they're doing another one before the end of the year. And we're going to hit it hard again on that one because we know the deal was so good, it converted very well. And we had tons of top tier media talking about our client's product. That's sort of like a light newsjacking kind of thing. It could be entertainment or celebrity related events like award season, obviously big news, like big stories with, like around COVID when that first hit. There were a lot of stories around work from home. There were a lot of stories around quarantining and best practices around keeping your home like virus free, keeping your family safe. We pitched a client that had a very specific kind of mask for children, and we got a lot of attention for that. This was a helpful solution during a time when people were looking to solve a problem. They wanted masks that were effective, and they wanted solutions to understand how to transition work from home, working in an office to work from home seamlessly. And so we were able to tap into that trending topic, and we also did back right at the beginning of the pandemic, we put together a COVID bundle that was how to pitch the media right now. We talked to a lot of our media partners. We put together queries they were looking for. We put together a media list of journalists that wanted to hear from people that were still looking to write stories. And Nelson, I'm going to read this in 1 second. This is great. And so we were trying to help our community really understand how to navigate the choppy waters that this brought, because we were like, do we pitch? Do we not? What do people want to hear about? So there were ways to support journalists looking for value to solve some of these problems. Let me read Nelson's here. In 2005, an Air France plane made an emergency landing in Toronto. At that time, I had a client in the aviation industry. When the plane landed, smoke was everywhere, and the fire engines and police were headed to the scene. I called my client. This is like a very emergency situation. I love it. We're like, where's this going to go? I called my client, who was the CEO of the company, and told him not to turn off his phone, and that if he saw my number come up, to take my call. He said, what are you going to do? And I told him that I was about to send out a media advisory telling the media that I had an expert in the industry available as a source to talk about what just happened. I did send out the advisory and got a ton of calls from the media and got him all kinds of TV interviews. That is not just an example of newsjacking, but like coming at it with timing being so of the essence. I mean, you're talking about literally like an emergency situation, literally smoke, fire engines, police. It's like an emergency thing. And we know when they are on the scene, you always have those experts that are on voiceover getting interviewed on the phone while they're live reporting, and they could be explaining, because obviously they're not talking to the pilot of that airplane who's in the middle of an emergency landing, but an aviation expert can weigh in on what's happening in real time as it's unfolding. So that is like an incredible example of just really jumping in such a timely manner, and adding value. You're not capitalizing on a tragedy. Obviously nobody wanted to see this plane crash, right? Or like have it explode or anything like that. But having an aviation expert kind of explaining what was unfolding, it added value. So, and, you know, obviously the top tier outlets that were all interested in having him contribute was just a total win-win. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And yes, that could have been a tragedy. And for Air France, it was like a real negative press experience or event that happened. But I think that was done in an ethical way where you are able to add value, explaining what's happening, explaining maybe what had occurred, explaining, you know, how to like make people feel calm and informed in that situation. Jane is saying, for my HR training company, we're working on newsjacking the quiet quitting trend and how managers can deal with it. Yes, I'm seeing that everywhere too. There's the Great Recession, and now it's leading into this quiet quitting. That's great, Jane. That's really awesome. See, that's like adding value to that discussion, explaining it and giving context and talking about probably how companies can deal with it if this is what they're experiencing in their company or their industry. So that's great. So more newsjacking best practices. When a newsjacking based opportunity presents itself, you want to make sure you completely understand the news before adding to the conversation. Okay, let's say that plane situation turned out differently and there's a crash. You want to really understand what's happening to be sure that you're not capitalizing on a tragedy for another client. This was an emergency landing, but it sounds like a safe landing that did not result in any injuries, fatalities, or, you know, probably no fatalities. So understanding the entire picture before you add to the conversation. Do a quick keyword search related to the news to make sure you include the most search phrases in your content. Like I've said, SEO is more and more relevant in last week's whole Facebook Live, and I know it was a little confusing to some. I'm not going to call anyone out. Nobody died. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm assuming that was like not a tragedy type. It wasn't a tragic situation, but that newsjacking, SEO, we talked about it last week and how SEO and PR can align. It should not be a goal. It's not a KPI for us, but there is value in understanding what your ideal customers might be searching for and finding gaps in search and solutions that you might be able to pitch to the news. You also want to do a quick keyword search to see what to include that are the most searched phrases in your content so that journalists can see those search terms in your pitch, and they can include them in your subsequent article. And then you have to be really fast. Part of newsjacking is just capitalizing in the moment. So write quickly and be accurate. So you also, just for the sake of speed, you don't want to sacrifice accuracy and grammar. So you have to be fast, but you also have to be still, maintaining your elevated writing standards. Don't just write a response to the news, but be unique and have an original angle. And if you can, and if you have a client with a product, tie your news to a product, a service, or information, and include a call to action. So Nelson just posted a link. Don't navigate away from me. Save the link and read it after. But that's great. Thanks for sharing that. And everyone lived. Okay, good. I love the headline is it went off the runway, but everyone lived. Great. We definitely don't want anything negative happening there. Tie it to a product if you can, or a service, or information that your client is able to share, and include a call to action. So Nelson's call to action was likely, if you would like to speak to so-and-so CEO of XYZ Aviation, please contact me and I will put you directly in touch with them immediately. That's a call to action, right? So that is a way that they can take that next step to make that happen for them, to supplement the stories they're writing about. If it's more about, let's say, James, which is less urgent, right? Because it's just capitalizing on the discussion around quiet quitting, she can say, for more, to interview, the founder of the HR training company, please connect with me and I will set up, or I can share your questions. And she gives a call to action in order to take that next step to make this happen. Sasha's the queen of SEO, you guys. She outranks Sacha Baron Cohen in Google. Thank you very much. I think I newsjacked with my Serena article I wrote and published on Medium. I just saw it. I saw the trend with journalists looking for someone to feature regarding their topic. So I wrote my own story with an original angle, but using the trending topic. So tell me more about the trending topic. And I love that you wrote your own story. The expertise is you positioning yourself as an expert on. Tell me more about I read it. I would like for you to tell more about the positioning of the Serena story, and you're positioning yourself as an authority on that certain topic. And you have you gotten picked up, or has it gotten traction with other outlets from that Medium article that you published? Tell us more about that, Sasha. Oh my God, Serena, isn't she so exciting? It's we're all about tennis in this house. My son plays, my husband plays. She's the GOAT, and it's just great to see her in her last US Open playing out of her mind. She's a mom with a 4-year-old. It's so inspiring. Okay, so and then remember, newsjacking has to fit Shoot, I don't have my inhaler. This cough thing is new for me with COVID. Yeah, and Serena's also out in Toronto, so I'm sure you remember that happening too. Okay, newsjacking needs to fit seamlessly into your marketing strategy, and it means that you have to have a goal. It has to have alignment and match the vision and the voice for your overall outreach to media, and it should provide value to your audience. Again, tying it back to value, that's a way to do it. Marlicia, I know, it may sound like a negative term, newsjacking, but if you're adding value, like Nelson's describing, like Jane is describing, and Sasha, then that is going to align with your comms strategy of, getting the right stories and getting your client aligned with the right outlets and positioned as an expert, or having their products positioned as a problem solver for a certain need. Okay. Forgive me, but this happens. I get like my throat closes up. And hopefully Sasha's sharing a little bit more about Serena and the strategy that she used. So I have 5 quickie strategies to stay on top of trends as a PR pro. The first, use the Google News tab. You can use this tool to search any time of day, which is great for sparking creativity whenever you need to. So you can search certain search terms. Oh no, Chrissy, is that you? I'm wondering, is this long COVID? Like, what is long COVID? I'm day 21, 22. I mean, I'm hoping that it's not like a lasting thing for me, like beyond this. I have 2 more days of the steroid and I'm just hoping that like knocks it out. But every time I think I'm getting better, it like morphs into a different thing. I lost my sense of smell and taste on day 8. I had 0 energy. I had like a 6-day migraine. 4 months. No. Oh my God. No, I cannot. 4 months it's a no for me. My husband has the head fog. He's texting me right now telling me he just got prescribed a Z-Pack from the doctor. I had a Z-Pack. I felt better. And then I got way worse. Like it's just been a roller coaster. So, oh no, Janice, how are you feeling? Tell me about it. Oh, thanks, Melissa. You're the best. You know, when you start to feel better, you have to like put yourself together to really feel like look good, feel good, do good kind of vibe. That's where I am. I have to like pull myself together. Okay, thanks, Sasha, for this. So let me explain more context. There was one person looking for a female business strategist to dissect what's next after her retirement. I'm a business strategist and they didn't even look at my pitch. So I wrote my own story around her being a mompreneur, Serena, and an expert. Then I saw another person looking for someone to talk about her in leadership. So I combined both and published. I wanted to be strategic with it. It's my first article on Medium. Tell me about the results that you've gotten from publishing. Serena has her own like venture capital company. I was just reading an article on Forbes about Newsjacking, and the founder of Newsjacking is like she's 27. She's like just sold a piece of her company, makes her worth about $200 million. She started the company in college when she was 19. And she just started a partnership with Selena Gomez. And they got an investment from Serena Ventures. So it's like full circle right now. I just literally was reading it before I went live. So that's so awesome. Sasha, you're so savvy. I want to connect with you and see how we can maybe get you to come into the Pitch Lab to talk about some of your like SEO strategies. And I think that our community would love to hear more about how you're just like crushing it with how you're combining stories when you're not getting crickets. You're not 2 new followers on Twitter. Yay. They're probably bots. No, I'm kidding. But let's chat, Sasha. I'd love to like get you coming in and sharing more of these really savvy strategies that you're using. And you're in the Pitch Lab too, yeah? Or just the Agents Accelerator, both? Tell me what you're in. Okay. Anyway, we all know about Google Alerts. Set it up on topics, your client's own company, fine, but also their competitors, anything, using tools like Google Alerts that will help you stay on top of the industry, certain search terms that your client can talk about. So we also have inside the Pitch Lab, we had Natasha Dressler come in and talk about positioning your client as an expert. And one of her early strategies is creating a talk topics Google document. It's a living document. They can add to it. You can add to it. But right when you start with them, you start asking them just even like their background or their being a first generation American to go to college, in their family to go to college, or like just interesting things about them that are part of their talk topics. When you have an ongoing document like that, you can set up certain Google alerts to see when news is talking about that, and also look for it on Twitter to see if people Oh my God, Sasha. Maybe you don't need us, but we're here for you. But oh my God, you would love them. But anyway, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But yeah, obviously still love to chat with you and get you to come in and share your expertise with us. So Google search tool on the Google News tab. If you're using Google as your browser, you can search any time of day. Great to spark creativity. Google Alerts will help you stay on top of topics, SEO topics that your client can speak on and stay on top of what's happening in your industry and their industry. Another thing we like to do is talk about utilizing Haro, Help a Reporter Out, and other similar services to see what reporters are writing about. And I did an entire masterclass about how to use Haro inside of the Pitch Lab, not just the basic stuff that we all know, but really leveraging the resource for other ideas, like other pitch ideas that maybe you pitch for that story and you don't get it, but you can now pitch it out as another idea to other outlets. You kind of know what clients or journalists are asking about and want to know about, what I want to write about. So there's a lot of ideas about how to leverage Haro and other resources like that quoted, and Prowly and other resources to figure out what journalists are talking about and how to insert your clients into the conversation, even if you're not getting those wins. Talk topics. Yeah. Yeah, Janice. Yeah. Just certain search terms, get your Google alerts and be like, all right, let's pitch. We got a timely topic here. Another idea here is search for a broad topic first and then narrow down to review the trends. So examples of broad topics are NFTs, clean beauty, golf apparel, just broad. And then look at what trends are being written about and determine how your clients can weigh in on those trends or be tied to those angles, as a priority. Like they can weigh in on it in some way, with more expertise or explaining differences between, or what does clean beauty mean, or what is what are some ways that companies are kind of declaring clean beauty but they're not actually, and what to really look for, getting there. Offer your clients as a resource for any related stories that journalists might be working on around those topics, and see if those topics are broad and people are talking about NFTs. Maybe there's a follow-up story with the same journalist or the same publication with a little more in-depth about a certain area they hit on, or a different approach, a different angle. We certainly are not ever going to find a story and ask a journalist to change it and add our clients. And if they've already talked about it, don't pitch the same idea. Don't assume because they wrote about it once, they'll write about it again, but offer a fresh perspective, offer a clarification or a counterpoint in a very value add way, not in a argumentative way. Okay. And they might be working on a follow-up. It might be their beat that this is what they cover. So keep an eye on it. And also be sure to focus on what's trending at your clients' target outlets. We have really helpful editorial calendars as part of our execution plans that include national heritage publications, that include all kinds of different media outlets, and talk about long lead and short lead and what they're focused on. And I actually have a little clarification that came from our connecting with journalists and understanding with this affiliate. Here I go, ranting on again about affiliate. But given the way that they are planning stories these days, we used to look at digital outlets like Short Lead. They're telling us now that they are planning out their content more like long lead outlets, because they have to plan out the content and schedule it out so far in advance, because They're doing their research, they're finding products, they're trying to get topics that are going to align with what people are searching for during certain times of year, certain, holiday season sales and travel related stories, things like that. They're planning them out much more in advance. There is wiggle room for short lead on digital outlets, but when it comes to them planning their product related roundup content, they are planning them out with lead times that more closely align with typical long leads. So we're going to start adjusting our execution plans to reflect that, but keep that in mind. This is a change across the board. And I know we're all like, we know lead time. Long leads seem to be taking longer, and now short leads are taking longer. Okay, great. Kristen, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We're going to wrap up soon. I only have like 2 more topics here, but we have these execution plans in the Pitch Lab that are going to cover your clients' target outlets and what's trending or what they have on their editorial calendar. And we're going to share that with you in terms of the long lead timing and the short lead timing. So it's like our content cycles through. Like we'll share it first when it's relevant for long lead and what you should be focused on long lead that month. And then you'll see it again when you should be talking about it in short lead. And we'll also remind you to follow up on those topics. So execution plans are worth beyond the price of admission in our program, and there's so much more in there, but they're really, really helpful on staying on top of what is trending and to keep on your radar for newsjacking. And then it's also important to understand the major national and world events that can have an impact on the news cycle, regardless of the industry you're pitching. So that could also inform you to hold off on your pitches, or to be sure you are not pitching something that is sensitive or I should say insensitive to what is happening in the moment. And also with regard to social media, if there is a national tragedy unfolding, you need to help your clients stay on top of that, to stop their tweets and their published posts. They should not be auto posting if they can stop it during a national tragedy. And when it comes to some sort of tragic event, or, we have seen some really like tasteless pitches that have capitalized on some just negative news that they try to do it in a funny and tongue-in-cheek kind of way, and they miss the mark. It's very, very hard to do that. Maybe you have an incredible relationship with a journalist and they get your sense of humor and they get that you're trying to be lighthearted, but just be very careful, because you might think that you're making a lighthearted joke to get attention, or you're kind of capitalizing on something that might seem like you're putting a negative situation in a positive light, but that could come across as insensitive, as unprofessional, could get your client and you kind of blacklisted. Journalists don't want to work with tone-deaf PR representatives. So just keep that in mind. If it feels ick to you in any way, probably is. And if you're not sure, run it by our Profitable PR Pros community. We have this incredible free Facebook group. You might be watching this in that group right now. We have like 4,000 PR professionals and journalists all over the world that will help you. We will read it. We will tell you like it passes the ick check and it's good to go, or it's savvy, or it's not done in a tasteful way and you should probably tweak it or not send it. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. As you've seen from Nelson and Jane and Sasha and Nelson, Jane, Sasha, and who else? Marlicia was asking about it, but if you have any questions around newsjacking, drop it in our community and we'll get you responses. But there are ways to successfully do this, and jump on a trend. There's a lot of stuff happening on TikTok also, trending things going on TikTok that, I'm in the beauty industry. Today I read something about curling your hair in a Coke can. It's like, great, sure, you can do it, but you can have a curling iron, which would also take you like a lot less time. I mean, maybe you're like, I don't know, you still need a hair dryer to like heat the thing up. It's just whatever. People are now talking about TikTok trends and food hacks and things like that, beauty hacks. That's great subject for newsjacking. TikTok is the foundation, like originating a lot of different timely newsworthy trends that you can jump right on and get your clients part of the conversation. Let's say your client has a curling iron. You jump on the TikTok Coke can, like you literally like put your hair inside a can and then you heat it up, and it's kind of like the Dyson. It just the heat, the air wave just kind of sends it in a conical shape inside the can, and the heat heats it up, and then when you stop the heat and it cools, you pull your hair out of the can. But like it would take you like 4 hours to curl all of your hair, whatever. So talk about that. This trend, sure, it works. Is it timely? Is it time saving? No. Is it you're going to burn your hand holding the Coke can? So just my client's curling iron works in 9 minutes, and you'll have not 9 minutes. Sorry, I have 9 emails waiting. Works in 2 minutes, and you have a full head of perfect curls, and you don't need to, worry about getting Coke in your hair. I don't know, something like that. But check TikTok. A lot of trends start over there. But that's what I have for you guys today. Does anybody have any follow-up questions on newsjacking, how to do it ethically, what feels good, what feels yuck or ick, or any other questions that they have about any of our programs or resources, even our free resources? I'm happy to point you towards the vast many number of awesome free resources. I have a YouTube channel, searchable topics there, all related to running your own PR agency, all related to pitching the media, growing your business on your own terms. We just kicked off a high performance coaching program with a very small beta group called Elevate. And that is taking your business and your life to that next level, bringing full energy, deep relationships, meaning to your life and your work and your relationships and connections, focusing on productivity and your physiology, your psychology, just total life awesomeness. And I'm loving it. We had our kickoff call on Tuesday, and it's an incredible group, and everybody in the group, we all have a common goal. We're all running agencies, and we all want to do it on our own terms because we have lives, we have interests and hobbies and families and kids and other things, other parts of our businesses. And so we are all in this for a common goal and looking to get the most out of our businesses and our lives. And I'm now a trained certified high performance coach. And I'm so excited to kick off this new program with our incredible group of women that signed up for it. So we are just here to take your business, your pitching skills, your sales in your business, your company to the next level. This is my purpose in life. I feel amazing every day. I get to wake up and serve this community and live my purpose. What's better? So let me know. I'm here for you if you have any questions at all. Or any topics. Jane today shared a topic she wants to have me expand on for one of these trainings, which I love. Anything you want to learn about, anything you're noticing in the media or media relations right now, please share. A lot of my colleagues are getting out of office replies already for the long weekend. And then they're in case you can't reach me, reach out to this person. Those people are also out of the office. So you might not want to pitch until Tuesday, Wednesday next week if you're, doing something for a client in terms of media outreach. And right now, we're getting a lot of out of office. So, but let me know. Anybody else have any questions for me? I appreciate all of the support around my COVID roller coaster. And for those of you on here who have it, Janice, feel better. Melissa, I hope your headache goes away. And Chrissy, long COVID is very like scary to me. So hopefully I can nip this thing in the bud. But thank you guys so much for being here. Janice, feel better. Keep me posted, will ya? I hope it doesn't turn into anything worse. Just if you need any recommendations on like supplements, not that it like actually worked for me, but I did a Z pack. If you're in the first 5 days, I don't know where you are, you can get Paxlovid, and I kind of wish we did. We asked our doctor. I was not feeling too terrible, so I didn't push for it. And then I ended up getting worse, and my husband and I both wish that we had kind of pushed for it. Some people relapse, but like I've relapsed. Okay, so try to see if you have to be kind of high risk, but some doctors, my doctor's like, I would have given it to you. Not that we're high risk, but that it really does help if you catch it in the first 5 days. Once you're at day 5, after day 5, you're not eligible anymore. So look up Paxlovid, and then I have a list of things that people have recommended, and I also got on a Z pack, and now a steroid and an inhaler. So if you end up with a cough, those things have helped too. But lots of herbal remedies and stuff if you're interested. But anyway, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Share this community with a member of the PR professionals world that you happen to know. If you like what you see, share it. And we have a podcast, Pitching Powerhouse. Give me a review. It really helps. Lisa LaFemme. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, my God. Okay. I will read this. And Google Lisa LaFemme and look at what happened to this major news anchor in Canada. A few weeks ago, you'll be disgusted at what CTV Bell Media did to her. Eesh. Okay. I don't know if I want to. It sounds dicey, but I'll check it out. Eesh. Yeah. Yikes. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Feel like I'm back to myself mostly, aside from the cough, but hopefully we're headed in the right direction and don't have long COVID. So be well all. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your week and enjoy the wonderful long weekend. I will be here next week with another Facebook Live show for our profitable PR pros. Until then, I'll see you. Have a great week. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.